be going over suspension training. These are made by Elite FTS. They're called blast straps. Some of the suspension trainers can be very expensive. These are sold as a pair, and they're very sturdy. They adjust to many different sizes and lengths. They're also one of the cheapest to buy as a pair. They're right around $80, $70, $60 if you get them on sale. So they're a great deal. You can do a number of exercises with them. I'm going to go over basically the abs and the upper body. So a good little routine. All you need is a pole to attach it to. The more narrow it is, the easier it's going to be. The wider you go with your attachments, the harder it's going to be. And the wider you go also, you have less drag on your arms if you're doing upper body exercises. It tends to give you a rug burn if you do a real narrow attachment like this. But I'm going to show you their narrow attachment first. I'm going to go over ab fallouts, otherwise known as Supermans. So make sure they're both equal once you're locked up and ready to go. As far as foot placement goes, the farther out you go with the angle, the easier it's going to be. So it'll be a good start for beginners. The further up back you go, and the more suspended you are, the harder it's going to be. I'll just demo the easiest first. So it's basically like a push-up stance, feet together. Always keep your hips up a little higher. Don't let your hips drop low. The lower your hips go when you're doing these, it creates a lot of pressure on your lower back. So with keeping your hips up, almost a push-up stance, hands shoulder length apart. You're going to reach out as far as you can go. Hold for a second. Pull back in. Reach out as far as you can go. And pull back in. Make it harder. Try to go to a full suspension. Once again, keep your hips up high. Reach out as far as you can go. And pull back in. Reach out as far as you can go. Pull back in. Now I'm going to go over pikes. Before you start pikes, always tuck in your shirt. When you're doing them, sometimes the shirt has a tendency to drag down, cut off your breathing. Tuck your shirt in. These are also great to do with a partner. Help you get your feet in. If you don't have a partner, you can still get your feet in. Once your feet are locked in, you're going to start in a push-up stance. Keep your arms straight and your legs straight. And you're going to make your hips go straight up. Once again, don't let your hips drop. The lower your hips drop, the more pressure you're going to feel on your lower back. So keep those hips right about shoulder level. Don't let them go below. From the starting position, you put the hips straight up in the air, really focusing on pulling with your lower abs. So, and back down. Each time you pull up, you're really focusing on the lower abs, really flexing them. Once you master those, if you want the more advanced version, you're going to start on your elbows. Start a little farther back. Once again, keep the hips up high. You're going to rock back, and rock forward, rock down. Once again, from the pike position, you're going to put your feet in the straps, tuck your shirt in, start in the pike position, arms straight, keep your arms straight, don't allow your arms to bend, holding your weight, hips up, tap. Now you're going to go for a count of 30, switching legs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you hit 30, you're going to take a 10-second break. Advance your hand position, or whole length up. Once that 10 seconds is up, right back to it. Do another 30. And make sure when you're doing these, you're not cutting them short. You want to make sure you get that full stretch at the back each time you're doing them. So once again, none of this little short stuff. Really stretch out and bring high knees every time. Once you get 30, the last set, hands a whole nother length up yet again. Once you get that 10 seconds rest, right back in. And once you hit 30, go ahead and take a break and get some water. Now we're going to go over the lower ab complex. It's a mix of different exercises for your lower abs. Do as many reps as you can. Try to hit the goal will be 6 to start with, and then continually build from there, throughout the months. So start position, normal pike position. Keep your hips up high, arms straight. You're going to start out with the pike. Hips straight up, come back down. Then you go both knees in, both knees out, and then 1, 2, and then back to a pike. You're going to try to do as many of these as you can. And once you get your number with how many you can, once you get tired, stop and build from there. Now we're going to go over the windshield wipers, which are great for your lower abs, your core, and your obliques. So once again, start in that push-up position. Keep your hips up high. Keep your arms straight. With this position, you start with a little rocking motion, and then try to bring your knees to the opposite elbow. Now we're going to go over some chest exercises with the blast straps. This is on a narrow setup, so what I'm going to do is widen it. The reason for widening makes it a little harder is you have to stabilize more. When you have the narrow positioning, it rubs against your arm and it also rests against your arm, so it's not full suspension. So making it a little harder, the wider you go, and you're also going to get the advantage of it not giving you rug burn with your arms. So the very first suspended push-up we're going to do is the easiest one. Create an angle where it's easy. If you can't do a full suspended push-up, you're going to create an angle where it'll be a little easier. Legs straight, hips up. Once again, your hips drop low. It's going to put a lot of pressure on your lower back when you're doing these. So keep your hips a little up elevated in the air. Back straight. Go down as far as you can, feel the stretch in your chest, and squeeze up at the top. Once you master the basic version, then you're going to get advanced. Keep going, working your way down. And once you get good enough, you do a full suspended push-up. So with the wide setup, handles are even on both sides. Put all your power straight down to the floor. Otherwise, you're going to be all over the place trying to suspend yourself. So with that in mind, once again, hips up high. Don't let them go too low. Down as far as you can. And squeeze at the top. Now we're going to do the elevated push-up. So you can choose from assortment of different sizes as far as your level of fitness. So if you want to start with the basic and work your way up, that'd be good as well. So with your feet elevated, 1 foot on, just like a normal push-up. All that power straight down to the floor. Keep your hips up high in the air. Once again, go down as far as you can go, and squeeze up at the top. Now we're going to go to chest flies. So, with chest flies, I like working with the angle a lot better. So palms facing each other, back straight and strong, keep those hips up. From this position, you're going to start with the fly, going wide as you can, and then squeeze up at the top. So feel that stretch at the bottom, and squeeze up. And once again, the harder it is, the further back your feet go. And the easier it is to create that angle. Now we're going to go over the inverted row. For the inverted row, I like switching back to the narrow positioning of the blast straps. You can have this one narrow, since you're not going to be rubbing against your arm. So in this position, keep your back straight. You're going to sit down like you're sitting in a chair. Once you're in this position, palms facing them down away from you, back straight and strong. You're going to pull your shoulder blades together. So keeping that position with your hips like you're sitting in a chair, and pull those shoulder blades together. Try to make them touch. Full stretch at the bottom, squeeze on the back. The next position for the inverted rows, your palms are facing each other. Same positioning, sit in the chair, back straight and strong. And now you're going to pull to your belly button. So from this position, back straight and strong, pulling those shoulder blades together, right to your belly button, all the way down. Squeeze at the top, stretch at the bottom. Scarecrows will hit your shoulders. From this position, you're going to lean back. This time your legs are straight. Whole body as straight as can be. When you're doing these, one thing to really focus on is when you're pulling up with your arms, keep your arms straight. Don't start to bend them as you move up. So don't bend your arms, and don't jerk your head forward when you're doing these. So keep your arms straight throughout the movement, make your shoulders do the work, and keep your head straight with your spine. You might have to play around with the position. If you want it harder, bring your feet out further. Squeeze up at the top. Really focus on popping your chest out, coming back down slow and controlled. You're going to do 5 of these. And then you're going to start in this position and go to a 90-degree angle with your arms. Start and finish. Squeeze on the back side. Once you've done 5 of those, then you're going to switch, trying to make your knuckles touch your ears. So from this position, knuckles to ears. Really squeezing on the back side when you get to the top. Squeeze. Come down, nice, slow control.